six-time former U.S. international. Christopher Sullivan, my name is Mark Rogandino, as we get you set here for the second half, and maybe the energy level and the play will pick up a little bit here in the second half. Not that it was bad in the first half, but as we said, it'll probably kick into another gear.
Yeah, I think so, particularly for Internacional Porto Alegre. One thing we know through the feet of D'Alessandro, they know how to accelerate the play into the attack, but Mazembe has been a force defensively. Not too much of a shell. There's the concentration. They might want to just stay there, but I think that they've given some good football as well, you know, in spells, the counter-attacking phases where they can get forward. You're not seeing that potent quality where they could finish. So I think definitely a clear edge for Internacional, but they need that final quality to finish.
So the team's back out on the field. No word as to any changes for either side heading into the second half. There's a Sepp Blatter on hand here. Going to be a busy week for that man. Remember the Champions League draw coming up later this week to determine the matchups in the knockout phase. And of course, we'll have all of the hard-hitting action for you throughout the Champions League here on Fox Soccer. If you want to make a note, the draw Friday at 11 Eastern Time. Certainly there should be some entertaining matchups between some of the teams. You know that there's going to be a couple of top-notch teams that somehow have to get paired against one another. Mazembe in the all-white with the black stripes, attacking from right to left, and right here on the edge of the area, spinning shot. Renan has to at least make sure it goes wide. As Kaliatuka hit the left-footed shot.
Oh, you see the turn and mobility here. Good surprise idea from Kaliatuka, the entry pass.
That'll set up the first corner of the second half for either team. Mazembe had two in the first half, driven in toward the near post. Not the best of balls there from the corner. And now Internacional will look to build from their own end.
I think one of the adjustments we might see in Dai have, as you see, he's kind of giving indications, is actually to stay more advanced and try to press higher, make it difficult on that back four that we talked about, that struggle, particularly in the central defense, exiting now. And perhaps you find greater success recovering in higher position.
What do you think that back four was? I know we said they elected to go safety first a couple of times. Were they really tested in that first half?
No, they weren't, because Mazembe had pulled all the way inside their own half. But if they stay up the way they are now, perhaps they find greater success. Keep Clever home, keep Ne home, and just lean and squeeze upon those two central defenders, Indio and Bolivar.
Iansu pushes it away. And a whistle will come in. Just one player carded if you're keeping track at home in that first 45 minutes. Kimwaki, the 24-year-old defender, comes in with the challenge there. Nkulakuta, the right back, the player carrying the lone yellow from the first half.
Well, I think this will be interesting here when you look at the spot location for Inter. We know that D'Alessandro, he's the one actually setting up the ball here. So he'll earmark that at the near post if he takes it. Solis gives the other option to swing with the right.
Wall just at the edge of the 18. Direct effort deflected, and it'll go wide to give Internacional the corner. It was D'Alessandro.
He takes most of them. They love him in Brazil. You have to be happy for him that Sergio Batista, called him back to the Argentine national team. He thanks Internacional for giving him the chance to showcase his abilities and get back in that level.
Sobis with the cross. Well handled by Mazembe defensively, and now just a clearance out toward midfield. Nay there to head it out.
He knew it was going to be a difficult match against the Africans because you see the physicality. They don't tire at all. I think they're playing well in the second half. They're starting fantastic.
Renan off of his line. The 25-year-old goalkeeper for Internacional with the long ball up towards midfield. See if this one will stay in. Clever trying to run it down. Just trickles out with a quick throw. Kuliakuta able to pull it away for Mazembe. No laking though on the first ball out from the back. Sobis dumps it off here for Kleber. Lifting the chin, looking for reinforcements. Tinga with the glancing header.
I see Tinga puts himself in such great positions. He puts the hand up to Kleber. Look at the precision of this ball. That extra little touch. And he flicks it. They're looking for two heads. Alexandro behind.
Showing some shots of the TP Mazembe fans, but as Christopher mentioned, a pretty good carriage of Internacional supporters here in Abu Dhabi as well. Crowds have been good for all the matches, but I think this one of the biggest ones we've seen so far. Singaloma cutting inside, can't link up the pass. Tinga, quick distribution to spark the counter. Alexandro. Intended for Tinga, who was just around the penalty spot.
This is what we talked about, Mark. When you get the Alessandro higher, look how he can invent
Gives
and
it
improvise. It changes the whole complexion of how Internacional attack and their danger in that final third. And I think that will be the difference. Guineasu took a fantastic position to break on that counter. He got very deep in front of the back four, and in 3 passes they were on the other side of the field.
So here's the 29-year-old Argentine, the Alessandro, to whip in the second corner of half number 2. Near post ball. Kiriaba secures it inside the area. Singaloma. Betty. Good little entry ball there with just behind Kaliatuka.
Yeah, I like Mazembe like this. Now they're playing, and you have to give credit to the coach. And they're coming at the break 0-0, and he said, look guys, we're in this game now, we're going to step up as a unit.
Chance brewing to the far side, 1-0 Mazembe! Kabangu! He delivered the assist against Pachuca. He delivers the goal against Internacional.
What a fantastic goal from Mazembe. And you could just feel it. The attacking posture getting forward, advanced in the midfield, totally changed from the first half. Committing players to support, the great entry pass combination, and just watch the way he pulls away from the defense here. Fantastic ball, and there's the touch. Technical touch off the head, separates, pinpoint precision at that far post. That is a world-class goal. Fantastic for Mazembe. Look at the drag and collection. He pulls it away from Indio. From Bolivar and Indio, separates and plays right over the shoulder into that far corner. Fantastic.
53rd minute strike here for Kabangu, the 24-year-old, to make it 1-0 Mazembe. And now Internacional will certainly have to press a little more. Well, Christopher, no question, Celso Roth is going to, when he looks at the tape of that, the defending from the two players you mentioned, Indio and Bolivar, just giving way too much space for that area of the field.
Well, we talked about it. Where was Internacional? The weakest position was in the central defense. And if you're going to stay in this game and try to win, and you have to lean, squeeze those defenders in the back. We saw that Clever was so good getting forward like a winger, and May as well coming in. So then you have those two isolated.
But even just right before the strike right there, I think you pointed out to the fact that Mazembe started to touch it. Rather than just bypassing the midfield altogether, looking for a counter, it was a collective 4 or 5 sequence pass that they moved the ball forward slowly, and then the final strike.
That's right. They had the sequence, but they also had the support. The whole midfield had moved up in unison. What a great moment. And for Internacional, you look for the response. You know, this will elevate their game. And we see, again, this has been the story for Inter. They just, that final quality, you go back to the opportunity in the first minute where D'Alessandro played across the area. Sobis didn't finish, but look at the technique here. And this is all instinct. And great vision and awareness, and a fantastic finish.
I mean, so well placed that Renan doesn't even leave his feet, the goalkeeper for Internacional. And the explosion of emotions, as you would imagine, not only in the stands, but off the bench for TP Mazembe. And as we've seen it across all levels of soccer before, these are the important moments though now, these next few minutes right after that goal. Mazembe must stay tight and stay focused. Tinga. Clever breaking up the left side, and that's where the ball will go.
He's been the best player for Inter, Tinga, and he created so many opportunities early on. His work rate in the midfield has been fantastic. He's only played 4 matches for Inter, so he's still getting the familiarity with his teammates around him. Now we have to think if Celso Roth will, introduce another player like maybe Giuliano, who could stimulate the attack. There's Benitez.
His team doesn't play against Sagnam until tomorrow. But no question, he's thinking about the bigger picture. Brilliant ball from Tinga. Oh, the first touch, though, it let Alexandro down.
I think what's happening as well is, as Inter are pushing D'Alessandro forward, to create something in attack along with Tinga, Matis is the one that's holding the midfield. So his job is really for 3, and he's playing against 3 because Mazembe has squeezed the midfield and pushed up. So they have 3 breaking out in that open space against 1, and Matis hasn't been able to deal with that, obviously.
Indio, the 35-year-old center back, picking up the yellow for the tackle there against Kaliatuka. And now, as we into the 59th minute, be a free kick chance here for Mazembe. Kaliatuka with the direct effort.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Mazembe too are well acclimatized here in Abu Dhabi. This one just going off high, and that will be an important factor. Internacional are still acclimatizing. Actually, their plane was delayed from Porto Alegre. They had to stop in Nigeria on the way. The players were in good spirits, but look out.
Flag stays down. Kiriaba again with the save. Still not out of danger yet, as Internacional will run it down. Sobis.
This one
deflected out.
Yeah, this one was a great strike, but I think that Rafael Sobis actually killed his first touch. He took the angle away, kept Kiriaba